would not be able to function with.
So you're betting the whole farm on this universe being the only way it can roll? That's gutsy, but weak. Why's ours set up the gold standard? You're assuming alien minds couldn't work unless they play by our rules? Sounds like human arrogance to me. What if their functioning looks nothing like ours, and they're laughing at our clunky logic? You've got no proof this universe's way is the only one that sticks. How do you back that up without just pointing at Earth and shrugging?
No, I'm saying that you can only have a functioning worldview if there are such things as objective truths. So if an alien had a worldview where there were no objective truths, they could not have a functioning, coherent worldview.
All right, you're doubling down. Fair enough. But saying a worldview needs objective truths to function is still your human yardstick talking. Maybe an alien's coherence doesn't give a damn about our obsession with fixed truths. Could be they thrive on flux and contradiction, and we'd look like rigid idiots to them. You're banking on functioning, meaning one thing universally. Where's your proof that's not just our bias boxing us in? How do you know chaos can't work for someone else?
If they thrived on flux and contradiction, it would not be a coherent system.
Why not? You're stuck on coherent, meaning neat and tidy, like a human textbook. What if their system's coherence comes from embracing the mess? Flux and contradiction as the engine, not the glitch. You're still assuming our logic's the only game in town. How do you prove that's not just our bias boxing us in?
Then they could not make sense of the world and they could not make sentences because sentences require meaning, objective truth, an external world, etc.
Nah, that's you forcing our rules on them. Sentences need meaning? Sure, for us. But maybe they make sense through something else. Vibes, patterns, whatever. That doesn't lean on objective truth or a fixed external world? You're saying they can't exist without our crutches, but what if they've got their own game, and we're the ones who'd look incoherent to them? How do you prove our way's the only way that works?
It doesn't have to be linguistic structures or sentences the way humans do them. It still has to be some kind of referential meaning, or else it's not meaningful. You already said that they can contradict. If contradictions are possible in a coherent worldview, then you're admitting that there are no coherent worldviews.
All right, you're pinning me down. Nice move. I'll bite. If I say contradictions can coexist in their setup, I'm stuck explaining how it's still coherent without tripping over myself. But here's the pushback. Maybe meaningful, for them, isn't tied to reference or consistency like ours is. It's more like a dynamic blur that keeps shifting, and they roll with it. You're saying that's impossible? But why can't a mind work off something fluid instead of our rigid truth pegs? How's that not just our bias barking?
If the alien worldview is a dynamic blur that keeps shifting, then it makes no sense in the universe and the world that we inhabit, which does not function on a position where there's constant blur and shifting.
You're right. This universe we're stuck in doesn't play nice with constant blur. I'll give you that. Our world's got patterns, laws, stuff we can pin down, and that's where your objective truth stick gets its legs. But you're still assuming their worldview has to fit our universe's rulebook. What if their reality, or their corner of it?
Yeah, so that means you're wrong. Everything you've been arguing is collapses. Keep going.
All right, I'll run with it. So, our universe has these patterns, gravity, thermodynamics, all that jazz. And yeah, they don't bend for some blurry, shifting alien vibe. If those aliens tried living here with a worldview that's all flux and no anchor, they'd probably crash and burn, tripping over reality's hard edges. You've got a point. A functioning mind, in this universe at least, needs some grip on the objective stuff, like cause and effect, to not just flop around uselessly. I still think you're smug about it, though. Why's our way the only way that counts? What if their universe plays by different rules, and we're the ones who look incoherent there? Chew on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't get smug about it. You landed a solid hit. I'll eat that one.